Hello, everybody, and welcome to another cup of self-empowerment to trust, heal, and be thyself. I'm absolutely delighted and totally excited to introduce our very special guest today, Cristina, who is in London in the UK, and she's just disappeared from my screen. So, Cristina, where are you? You're back. You just wanted to come in with a bang.
So much.
Cristina, welcome. Hello to the UK. It's so nice to have someone from the UK today. So for those of you who don't know Cristina, let me just give a little bit of background knowledge so you can know who we're talking with today. So Cristina Olaru is an accredited tarot reader, spiritual consultant, and psychotherapist who created in February 2021 a special method of tarot readings designed to help people with their spiritual journeys and personal development processes. Cristina uses Jungian psychology and archetypes to support you through your awakening, to reach an intimate, immediate awareness of your circumstances through tarot, bringing clarity to difficult issues, as tarot is concrete and enabling the issue to be easily and safely externalized. Her readings are designed solely on the customer's needs. She uses a particular tarot technique that combines both therapeutic and divination purposes. Something, I've not got my words today for some reason. We were saying before that the energy's like, woo.
Yes.
Cristina works with your inner map, bringing up your fears, buried frustrations, deep-rooted worries, traumas, unresolved matters of heart and inner child issues. Equally, she invites awareness in for your strengths, your gifts and life purpose, so you can organically obtain your individual process. Her deviation techniques highlights the energies that in fact you're going to be dealing with, the psychological energies and the archetypes that are going to play into your immediate or future circumstances. The manifestation of your outcome depends very much on your own psychology. Cristina's business stage guidance has the motto, your future is not determined. The power of the universe exists within us, and we have the power to transform our reality. That's just amazing. That's just so good. And you're my first person who's coming on to talk about tarot. And I think that's why I've got a little bit giddy and a bit excited, and why my words want to come out quicker than my mouth can actually speak them. So thank you for joining us today. And Cristina, tell us, how did you start your journey on trusting thyself?
So I particularly want to talk about trust. Like, how did I trust myself to start this journey?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I want to speak about the trust, and to say that actually I didn't trust myself to do that. And I was absolutely frightened. I was fearful. And I think what actually pushed me to do this was the courage, the fact that I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think everyone that you don't need trust or confidence to start your journey of healing, or you don't need to be prepared, or everyone thinks that they need trust and confidence to start anything. But no, that's so not true. The only thing you need is courage, and to actually want to do this, genuinely to want. And I think this feeling and belief, like the trust and the confidence, develops with time and experience, and also with the results of your healing. Because this is what I think, and even from my own experience and my clients' experience, is like we all struggle with the trust and with the confidence, to do it. But I'll give you, just to explain this better, I'll just give an analogy. About imagine a small child who is taking his first steps, right? Like he's attempting to walk, so his legs don't know what confidence nor trust is, right? Great to walk, since he doesn't know how to do it. But he has the support of his parents, and even though he falls, he sobs, he's trying to walk again. Yeah, like with time and with experience, he gets that trust and that confidence in his legs, and he starts walking naturally over time. And what that child has, and I think we are all born with it, is courage. Like he sees everyone walking, right? So let's imagine ourselves, we see everyone healing and oh my God, we want that. So we jump into it. So there's courage, there's desire to do that. So it's the same with the child. Like he sees his parents walking, so he has that innate, impulse, like, oh, I want to walk too. But he doesn't have the trust and the confidence in his legs, and he's acquiring that only over time with experience and results. So I think
results, yeah. The confidence and the trust, it's going to work next time if you keep trying.
Exactly. So I think this is what this is how I trust myself to do this, like with courage. Like the trust came in time, and obviously the path of healing is not linear. Like so many ups and downs, like try so many things, and yeah.
That's a really interesting way to look at it, to start off with, actually, with the courage. Because
Yeah.
it is that courage, and you have that idea, you have that wish, you have that desire, and of course you need to trust yourself. I do believe there is a lot of trust in there, but you also have to have that courage to actually take that step, that little baby step to start off with. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So obviously you listen to your courage to start coming forward, and how did that impact you on your healing journey, on your path? How did you start, after following that through with the courage, and then with time, the trust, and the showing up to it? How did that all unfold in your own healing journey?
So as I said, my path to healing, it wasn't linear, and I had my ups and downs, and I had where I was super aware of certain things. Then I was like, oh, this doesn't make sense. And obviously, like, I think whenever you open yourself to self-awareness, it's a journey. Like this is a never-ending process, because the more you're self-aware, the more self-aware you are about things, the more you feel. Like
I'm just really interested how it led you to tarot. Would you say that tarot's been the most
I was about to say. So the more I was digging and the more I was curious, like to understand myself, I came across tarot, and that happened in 2015 when I was at depression. So I always say, like, when I'm asked what drove you to tarot, it's pain.
And I think it goes for a lot of us that, we have that moment where we just, we get that kick in the teeth, and we're just not doing well, and we're not in that good place. And we literally look for something which we've never even contemplated working with before, because we're really at that point, like, I need something. Yeah.
Exactly. So I came across tarot, and I managed to begin my process of healing through tarot, and I'm continuing doing that. Tarot is my mentor, my coach. It was, it is, and I think it will be, because it contains all the depths that exist on spirituality, psychology, on the emotional intuition, intellectual, material plane. Like in 78 cards, you get all of that. You grasp of the spiritual, of the psychological, of the emotional, intellectual, and material plane. So when I was open to this dimension, I was like, whoa, how it's possible that in just 78 cards you get all of that wisdom. So tarot wisdom and guidance prepared me and continue to support me on my journey towards individuation. I call it individuation because obviously
I like that. I do like that. It's really good.
Yes, because for me, healing, it's integration. It's not some magical wand you have there and out of the sudden you're healed, or no. Integration, and I think the beginning of your healing needs to start with self-awareness, which is going to lead you ultimately to integration, and that's your healing.
And the integration is always going to be very individual at the same time. So
Exactly.
yeah, if we're all completely unique, and what works for somebody may not work for another. It might show up completely different. And yeah, no, what I find really fascinating, I love the concept of tarot. I really do. I just personally do not understand it. It's one of those things like astrology and human design, they blow my mind, but it's not my forte. I'm into energy healing, I'm into the Akash. That's where I like to play. That's what, what I'm here to do, But I really do find like the tarot, I know you said it's only 78 cards. That's if you compare it to an angel deck or an oracle deck, an angel deck, oracle deck is usually about 44. So, it is vast. In fact, that's why you've got all these different faces. It's like a different face of every possible facet that we have within ourselves, I feel. And that blows my mind. I really must admit that does blow my mind. So,
and also each card, they are 78, but each card contains elements of astrology, numerology, elements of obviously symbolism, yes,
yeah.
but also elements of psychology,
Mm.
Personally, and also obviously from the perspective of my clients, tarot helped me see things from a wider perspective by exploring both my unconscious and the collective one, because Carl Jung said that tarot opens the door of unconsciousness. So when I came across Jung and I've opened myself to this perspective, it just blew my mind. Like, it helped me grasp both perspectives and allow me to integrate so I can grow in the best possible way. So when I realized that, I was like, oh, I think this is going to benefit not only me, but other people. So I had that click and that moment in the pandemic. And this is when A-Stage guidance came to
brilliant. Yeah. Thank goodness is what I can say. That's great. Yeah.
So when I've understood that, and I've seen the benefits on myself, on my growth, I was like, I can actually help people with this as well. And for the trust, I didn't have any trust or confidence when I started doing tarot professionally, but I had that. I was actually very afraid because I come from a very religious family. So tarot, it was something very, very
they thought it was probably quite dark, and you shouldn't be meddling with that.
So fear was the fear of rejection, but I just had, as I said before, that courage, and I knew that I have something that can help people because it helped me. So I was confident and I trusted that tarot can help other people. But it took me a little bit. I had to gather myself in order to actually put myself out there. And it happened super spontaneous. I remember on that day, it was like I resigned from my job, and in that day, like everything happened like a flash. I remember it was so spontaneous. But so this is how tarot helped me. It's like my inner compass. I always say that it's like my inner compass, and it just created such a strong level of self-awareness in me.
Yeah, I was going to say that the self-awareness, it was just that connection to, is like, hey, I get this, I get myself when I'm working with this tool. Because through the cards, when we work with cards, it's being reflected. The message is, it's all within us. It's the cards, returning us back to ourselves, so we can access the information that we're ready to embody at that point in time.
Exactly.
We're not going to get the messages which are going to freak us out, because that's not going to help us. It's going to send us down the wrong path and put us into even more fear. So it's, it's a tool. It's a tool where, as you said, this self-awareness, I'd like to say, how my understanding is that, like, when I work with angel decks or oracle cards, it's reflecting back the information which is generally within me, but I'm able to see it as a visualization, the message is coming through, and that's how I can unpack it, basically. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Yes, it's the same, and it's a so good tool for self-knowledge. Like, this is how I actually awaken to my authenticity, because whenever I was working with tarot for self-understanding, self-knowledge, and self-awareness, the information was there. I just couldn't, deny it or repress it, or it was just bringing up to the surface.
And tarot's quite harsh. Tarot can come across like bang in your face kind of thing, I find.
Yeah, it's straightforward, it's in your face. So when you have the truth in front of you, you just cannot run away anymore. It's there. And obviously you need to also have, it's very important, you need to have a level of desire to want to improve, because if you're not looking with tarot to improve and to grow, you're not gonna get that insight. You're just not gonna work on yourself. You're gonna reject it, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's not true, or
Yeah, that's not the car I wanted, let's put another one.
pull another card, that's not true. No, but when you are genuinely dedicated to your healing path, and when you really want to heal and understand yourself and integrate, there's magic happening there with yourself. Like you started, and this is how I want to also teach other people to use tarot, is like to consciously assess yourself from that objective perspective, that sometimes you cannot have it with you, because we're all subjective when it comes to our experiences. Like, very difficult, yeah, and maybe with
Sometimes
time.
it's hard to take that bird's eye view. It's like, for me, when I go into the Akash, I know I'm bird's eye view, higher perspective. I'm out of, I'm in that place of not zero judgment and unconditional love. But no, but as you said, if you're not ready to be, and you've got the cards and you're not ready to accept it, you're not going to integrate it. You're not going to get the message, as you're saying, which is coming through. And, this is a skill. I think reading tarot is also a very, very powerful skill, but also it isn't for everybody. I think, I don't think everybody can read tarot, because I know as much as I would love to, there's something saying no.
You need to have for it.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have a calling, and also you need to know why you're doing it. Because I always say this, like, anything, if you put your mind to, anything can be achieved, but is it your true soul calling? Is it
Exactly that. Yeah, it's exactly that.
Yes. So if you're not there learning tarot because you really feel it, you want it, like, you need to always ask yourself, when you do something, are you able to do that, like, all the time with the same passion and enthusiasm, or it's a burden? Because you need to have a calling. Many people start learning tarot maybe for profit, for gains, but it's not your calling, you're not gonna last with it. And I think it's a very true for all the other areas of.
Exactly. We're, as we mentioned before, we're all individual. If we all, were doing the same thing, then it'd be pretty boring, and we wouldn't be helping each other, and we wouldn't be helping ourselves, basically. And yeah, we're all shaped, and all our ingredients in ourselves is all completely different. So I think it's brilliant, that there are tarot readers such as yourself. A lot of my other guests as well, they read tarot too. But this is so brilliant because we're talking just tarot, we're like, tarot is just vast. And I just find it interests me. And I know it interests a lot of people as well. But, for me, if I had to choose for myself, I would pick up angel cards or oracle cards because I get them. That's fine. That resonates more. But that's obviously the way I'm tuned, and whereas, tarot, I just think, how you can do it with oracle cards and angel cards too, that you can have the story unfold in front of you. But I do feel with tarot, there really is, I don't know, it feels a little bit harsher, even though it's not harsher. It's just more bang.
It's more in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, it is more in your face. And I think you have to be, as you said, open and ready to be aware
Yes,
that you might not get, the sweet, lovely message that you think you deserve at that moment in time. You might get the real truth one, to wake you up kind of thing. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So I would say, this leads me on to my next question. I think you've already basically tapped onto this, was the fact that, how did you actually decide, okay, this is the moment where I'm going to be unapologetically myself. I'm not going to worry about what anybody thinks, regardless who it is. This is what I'm here to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy to,
No, of course not.
yeah, it was not easy to be authentic. It's not easy to be authentic, but you need to work a lot on yourself, on your self-awareness, your self-understanding, but not only your self-understanding, because it's useless if you just understand yourself but you don't understand the collective.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand the collective, you cannot properly integrate.
Mm.
So the way I authentically put myself out there was, obviously I did my self-awareness, but I also understand others and their perspectives, and I understand that it's not about uh, A, B, C, D. It's more about the whole alphabet. If
Ah.
it's like we are all different, so we are all have different perceptions of life, we all see things in a different way, so it's okay for me to be this way, it's okay for my family to be this way, it's
Yeah.
okay for the president to be this way, and so on. Like, we are a collective.
Yeah.
So when I grasped that understanding of the collective unconsciousness and my unconsciousness, I started to own who I am.
Mm.
Yeah, I started to own who I am, and also I've accepted my dark side. That's
Yes. We all
most.
have that, and we always have to, it's like that tarot card, what gets pulled out, what you don't want, and you're like, okay, yeah, okay, am I ready? All right, then let's just have a
Yeah,
look then.
I think one of the most important things in actually being you unapologetically, meaning being authentic, is to own your shadow. If you don't bring that to the surface, if you don't tap it, if you don't integrate it, and also if you don't find a way to fructify it, because the shadow, actually, it's a resource. It's nothing bad about it. It's just a resource
It's the
that.
polarity of who we are as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So when I've learned to actually fructify it instead of rejecting it, then I was like, okay, this is who I am. Whoever wants me, whoever wants me, I'm here. Whoever doesn't, well, I respect that.
Yeah.
So how I've began my journey with tarot, and again, I know now that I'm saying it sounds very easy-ish, but it's not.
No, it's not easy. I know, I completely 1,000,000,000% back you up on that one. It's not. And it's also, you have waves of it. It's waves of it where you kind of have that part of you which you don't like much yourself. So you're trying to
Yeah, put it.
don't look at that. We'll just pretend that doesn't exist. At some point it's going to come there and look, say, deal with me. You're not accepting who you are if you're not accepting that part of yourself. And as you said, it is actually is part of your superpower as well, because if you can master how to
Channel.
and integrate, you're also learning every time you're looking at those elements of yourself which you might not like about yourself very much, or other people might pull you up on. If you have that opportunity to actually reflect and work through stuff like that, you're actually up leveling yourself as a person anyway. So there's always, and yourself, on your own journey, it's never stagnant. You're always, there's highs and lows, but we're always moving forward at some point, even if it feels sometimes like we're going 2 steps backwards. We're going backwards because we need to maybe reintegrate something. Maybe, you know, we keep holding on to something which is not serving us because we're too scared to let that go. We're scared of like having that newness come into our life. I don't know, you know. So yeah, I do like the concept of tarot, I must admit. I really do. So how would you like to advise our viewers today how they can start stepping into mastering their selves? You know, what advice would you like to give our viewers today?
So the mastery, this is an interesting level. It's a level.
It's a level, and it's like I always think mastery is, you know, we're always mastering ourselves up. It's like a ladder. We're always going up. So we master a little bit, then we take it to the next level. You know, it's not like we've done this, it's like, oh, we're done.
Exactly.
We're never done, you know, where there's always something where we can, you know, fine tune ourselves, or we want to at that point when you start, you just automatically start doing it, I feel. Yeah.
Yes. So if I have to give an advice is, in the run for mastery, just strive for individuation, for integration. Like if your purpose is not integration and individuation, your path is going to be much difficult. Like one of the purposes of spiritual, psychological, or personal development is to provide you with the tools you need to bounce back rapidly from setbacks. Is not the purpose is not to offer you that balance every single day that we see as spiritual bypassing. That's so not true. Like the purpose of transformation isn't for things to go smoothly. No. It's to consciously examine your transition, yes, and learn from it and evolve. It's all about evolution.
It is,
So
yeah.
reaching the healing or mastery level does not involve always making the right decisions. No. It's just recognizing when you're not taking the decisions that are in alignment with you and changing your course, like putting
Exactly.
you know. So I think the path to healing begins with self-awareness. So we should always focus on self-awareness. And obviously, tarot help me and help my clients develop that internal compass and that high level of self-awareness. But I want to say this to everyone. This is my experience. This is client's experience. So I don't recommend everyone, to go with tarot. I just recommend everyone to find their own way, their own tool for self-awareness, because there are many. And obviously I'm going to say tarot is the best because it's my area. But I want everyone to find their way and their purpose to be awareness that is going to get all of you through individuation. And at the end of the day, individuation, as I said, it means that process, that psychological process of integration. That's it.
Yeah.
Like if your aim is integration, you will get there. Yes, ups and downs, maybe finding tools that works, maybe finding tools that doesn't work, but at the end of the day you're still gonna find your way if you really want. So this is my humble advice, if I can say
Very
it.
good advice as well. And I always feel as well, you know, as which kind of piggybacks on what you're saying, is it's like it's not so it's every day is like, you know, a fairy tale. Shit's
Yes.
gonna turn up, and it's just for you to work out how to shift that shit quicker, basically. It's shifting your energy quicker, shifting, like, you know, okay, I'm recognizing this is happening. I'm recognizing I'm feeling at a lower vibration. I'm recognizing that this is pulling me down. I recognize that I'm, you know, falling back into old patterns which aren't good and which don't serve me anymore. But, you know, it's easier for me to fall back instead of me having that courage, like you say, to step forward and try something new. So, you know, yeah, it's an evolution, and that you having that power in yourself to take that by your own hands and say, okay, whether it's through tarot readings, angel readings, energy healing, Akashic records, whatever that tool is for you to know, okay, when I work with this tool, it's reflecting and integrating and giving me the message, I'm able to understand what my next step is for myself, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And if I may add, I had someone telling me once, like, oh, Cristina, I'm doing all these work, but I'm off balance, and I don't understand why every time I find myself out of balance. And I was like, look, if you were to be a monk living on the top of the mountain, yeah, with no people around you, with no bills to pay, with no work, with no children, yeah, you'll be in perfect balance every single the rain is going to take you off balance because you need to take your coat. But we people living in the city, around our families, around friends, around co-workers, like paying bills, like going through challenges, there's no way you're going to be in perfect balance every single day. We are not saints, we are not God.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. That is a message which I really think is very important to put out there, because everyone thinks, oh, you can do this, you can do that, you should be like, walking on water, and you should open your handbag and butterflies are going to fly out, kind of thing, and every day is perfect, and your children are always perfect, and all your bills never bother you on anything. Okay, maybe that does exist, but the real life for each and every one of us is that polarity.
Exactly.
And if you come off balance, it's finding your way back to yourself to bring yourself back into balance.
Exactly.
You should beat yourself up because you've had a really rubbish day, or you've been in a bad mood, or you snapped at your partner or your children or your co-worker. You're human.
Exactly, we're just humans. And the more people are going to understand this, the more progress they're going to do, because they think being in balance means nothing to touch you anymore emotionally. But that's so true. I think this is spiritual bypassing that is influencing a lot of people. Like they see out there on social media, or
The perfect picture, basically. Yeah.
but the perfect picture doesn't exist. No.
Mm.
No, yeah. So
Yeah.
intuition, uh, the advice, and also don't expect to be perfect. Don't expect to be perfectly balanced. That's not gonna happen.
Just expect to be perfectly you, with all your grace or your greatness, but also equally your flaws, because
Oh yeah,
it's being perfectly you. Yeah.
exactly.
And embrace that. And it's having that self-love and saying, okay, I was not great to that person there, or I wasn't great to myself. Okay, let's anchor up that self-love, and that gratitude, what is good in my life, and that forgiveness as well. Forgiveness also for self as well, for when we do stuff which maybe we shouldn't have done, or we're just human at the end of the day. And for us, is we're having this experience, this spiritual experience, and we're very blessed that we have these opportunities to go deeper with it and learn more. It's hard. Yes, it can get really messy, but it's also very beautiful and fascinating at the same time, I feel. Yeah.
And wouldn't be boring to have everything perfect? Like it's. I mean, who wants to live a perfect life? Come on, you will not have any challenges at all. I mean,
What
cannot
would you do every day, hey?
no. That's the this way. That's the fun in challenges, like the thrill, the overcoming, etc. So let's
Yeah,
be
and
great.
it presents the opportunities for you to get to know yourself as well.
Oh yes,
It
look
does, definitely.
of all circumstances.
Oh yeah, totally. So how can people, who think, okay, I'm really digging what Christina's saying to us today, and I'm really being called towards the tarot. It's something which I've been, feel, if you've been pulled to something, because you will feel that pull coming to you.
Yes.
It will pull you in. Like I know, like I always say, the records are calling you. If you're supposed to be in your records, they're going to call you. And I think it's exactly the same with every other tool. And you know, you mentioned you like to teach, you're going to be teaching tarot. So what's going on? Because we're like coming to the end of 2022. What's happening in your world in 2023? How can people reach out to you? How can people like book a session with you or learn with you? Please tell us.
Yeah, so I'm gonna launch in 2023 teaching tarot with me. We're gonna do tarot workshop as well. I'm gonna introduce psychotherapy through tarot.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and also we're gonna do new moon and full moon rituals with tarot. People can reach me mainly on my Instagram page, which is tarot_ASH guidance.
Mhm.
Just also as a side note, there's a lot of fake accounts impersonating me. So everyone listening to this, please be careful. I only have one tarot account. And also I have a website.
Okay.
It's www.tarotashguidance.com. To book a reading with me, just direct message me on my Instagram, and I'm going to send you all the information, obviously through email as well.
Yeah.
Guidance@outlook.com. So yes, these are my main sources of contact.
Brilliant.
And
You
I'm
can always contact me and I will put you in contact with Cristina. That's absolutely not a problem at all. It'd be my absolute pleasure. Wow. So that, the faith, I'm going to ask you just a spontaneous question, just because I
yeah,
feel like it's coming in now. Do you have a favorite tarot deck?
yes, the Rider White.
Yeah, right away. Okay, yeah. And do you have a favorite card as well? I don't know why I'm getting asked these questions, but they're coming out. So we're just
Yeah,
going to say them.
is the Strength card, because the Strength card represents what we've talked is the
Yes. I saw like the courage of a lion. I had like the whole Braveheart lion kind of thing going on. Yeah.
Strength card represents the individuation process where you are integrating your shadow and also accepting your flaws, like not only your qualities but your flaws. So on the strength card you get to see the lion and the white dressed woman, which is the higher self. So
Yeah.
a struggle there. The woman, she's holding the jaw of the lion, and the lion is like submissive, meaning that the integration between the lower self and the higher self are coming together in harmony. So yeah, the strength card represents everything we've talked so
It
far.
does. It's beautiful because I'm getting the visualization of the card. I'm going, I have, even though I don't usually read tarot, I have got a deck. So I'm definitely going to be looking at that afterwards and just really going into, yeah,
um
it's
let
just,
let me because obviously I have my deck here.
yours are always going to be handy, aren't they? As a tarot reader. Yeah.
Oh, just for you to have it now, because it's gonna be very, very impactful.
I think it's something which every viewer is going to benefit from now as well. So,
So look, see?
oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So here's the lion, yeah, and she's the higher self. So this
Mhm.
means integration of both your duality, your parts, your strengths, yeah, and your weaknesses, your lower self, which is the lion, the basic instincts, and
Mhm.
the lady dressed in white, but also represents your feminine energies and your masculine energies, yeah. And you have the infinite symbolism here. So there's a lot about this card that speaks about integration and that inner strength of
Yeah. That's
I love.
beautiful. So great. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing this with us, Cristina. It's been absolutely lovely chatting to you, and I'm sure we're going to talk tarot again very, very soon. So thank you to everyone who's been watching today, and I hope it's been equally as interesting and so much information coming through. It's just lovely. And thank you for taking the time to have a couple with us today, Cristina. That's
Oh,
absolutely beautiful.
having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, everybody, wishing you a beautiful rest of the day, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to seeing you with a cup of self empowerment very, very soon. Again, take care and many blessings to you all. And bye bye.